It's fine to say we are not all like this. It's fine to say I would rather see us elevate beyond this. But to deny it is what started to annoy me.
And I'm gonna tell you something. It made me feel some kind of way about you. That's the real problem.
But I didn't know it was gonna turn into all this. Oh,
well, I didn't know
now
it was
she
gonna
could
turn
be in
into
front
this.
of.
I believe
There's
that.
always something that we can be learning, growing, perfecting, shaping, molding, right? The minute we stop evolving, we're dead.
Now, who would have thought that Kirk and Rasheeda, yes, Mr. Cheated again, and Miss Bosch herself would get canceled for good like in 2025? It's given end of an era. But honestly, the way things are unraveling, I don't even think anybody's surprised anymore the reason behind. This sudden fall from reality TV grace got the internet buzzing because word on the streets is Miss Mona Scott Young pulled the plug herself, and not just for the drama sis. Said the couple wasn't following contractual guidelines, and to make matters worse, the fans just weren't watching like they used to. The love and hip-hop sparkle gone, baby gone, and now Kirk and Rasheeda are out here pointing fingers, blaming everybody but themselves like they didn't have a whole decade of antics on VH1. But let's get into the real reason this iconic duo just got cut off for good. Buckle up, y'all, cause it's messy. So Kirk and Rasheeda have been riding with a love and hip-hop Atlanta since the very beginning. We're talking over a decade of cheating scandals, outside babies, open marriage rumors, and Rasheeda flipping wigs while staying booked and busy with press boutique. They weren't just cast members, y'all. They were like the faces of the show, but fans either rooted for them or roasted them. But either way, they brought them ratings. But behind the scenes, Mona Scott was apparently over it. Insiders say the vibes between Mona and the Frost started getting tense over the past few seasons. Rasheeda, who once had fans screaming Bo's chick for how she held it down through Kirk's mess, allegedly became harder and harder to work with. Sis was out here trying to rewrite scripts and demanding final sale for scenes, and refusing to shoot anything that might damage her brand. Now, what brand exactly, sis? The entrepreneur cheating wife brand.
What was the text messages?
The only reason they're gone is because we were arguing about some that don't even matter. And you know me. I'm energy only. Her energy is negative. I don't with.
Well, sources claim she even walked out of the meeting saying she didn't need the show anymore. Meanwhile, Kirk, he wasn't helping at all. That man was reportedly showing up late, skipping call times, and treating the crew like they were beneath him. But let's not forget the whispers about sneaky brand deals and unpaid fees, like how you beefing with the same people who gave you a platform. Well, together, what used to be a power couple turned into a production nightmare, and still Mona let it rock on for years. Why? Well, cause she knew the viewers were addicted to their toxic love story. But sis got tired, the patrons wore it then, and it was only a matter of time before the bomb dropped. So here's where it all hit the fan. During what should have been a normal filming day, producers had everything set up for a chill scene about Kirk's latest business hustle. Nothing to wow. But the moment Rasheeda walked in, it was instant drama. Sources say she came in irritated, already beefing with the producers about the scene setup.
Be super angry at times and shut down, or it can make me snap the out, and I'm human.
She accused him of trying to make her look bad on camera, said the whole storyline was fake, and refused to shoot, and then had a full-on show match. She was allegedly yelling at the top of her lungs, dragging producers, accusing them of sabotaging her, and threatening to walk off mid-scene. It got so chaotic that security had to be called in to calm things down. And right when he thought it couldn't get messy, Kirk jumped in talking about cut the cameras dead. He sided with Rasheeda, of course, called the whole crew fake, and even reached out to network execs behind him on his back to kill the entire scene. Now, pause for a minute. That one delay alone reportedly cost production thousands of dollars, because time is money. And show business. Mona was already fuming about Kirk and Rasheeda wing out on set and acting brand new, but then Mona got her hands on something that changed everything. Multiple insiders started whispering that Kirk and Rasheeda had been quietly feeding bloggers, leaking negative info about the show's editing team. But these two weren't just playing victim online. They were allegedly in secret talks with another network, pitching a whole new reality show about their business and family. And real-life drama without Mona, without VH1 no love and hip-hop in sight. But get this, the show concept they were pushing suspiciously similar to the very storylines they built with Mona over the years: business grind, family issues, parenting, balancing marriage and money, and all of that. They took the blueprint and tried to build a mansion across the street to Mona. This wasn't just ambition, it was a declaration of war. And these weren't just cast members anymore, they were traitors using the very platform that she gave them to compete against her. So not only were they biting the hand that fed them, but they were trying to run around and sell the leftovers at their own table. But here's where things got even more twisted. After dropping Kirk and Rasheeda like a bad Wi-Fi, Mona took to an inner circle and started letting the shade fly. Insiders say she started casually hinting that certain cast members had been playing both sides for years. Let's be real a second for a millisecond. This sent the whole love and hip-hop universe into a tailspin. People started side-eyeing each other on set and trust gone, loyalty out the window. Well, Mona reportedly told producers that she's keeping tabs now. Anybody who's been difficult behind the scenes getting watched, scripts are being reworked and contracts are under review, all that drama. And they walked away with zero usable footage. Well, that's when Mona said enough is enough. Within 24 hours. She called a closed-door meeting with her showrunners and legal team, sources say. She brought the receipts, text messages, and missed calls, broken clauses, and Mona had everything lined up. Internal memos went out to the VH1 higher-ups and production leads. The language used, y'all, it was cutthroat. Kirk and Rasheeda were labeled as non-cooperative, disruptive, and a straight-up liability. And that's when that infamous corporate word insubordination came up. Like, this wasn't just about one bad day. This was about patterns of disrespect and costly setbacks. And Mona, she finally hit her limit. She gave the green light to terminate their contracts on the spot. So no more second chances, no final sit down, no dramatic reunion moment, just poof, gone. And get this, they didn't even get a proper goodbye. Listen, Kay and Rasheeda always liked to act like they were above it all, like their drama was more real than the rest of the cast. But insiders been saying that they were playing dirty behind the scenes for years. But Rasheeda allegedly acted like she was doing a show a favor since wanted all the camera time without the mess. But she forgot that this is reality TV, not an infomercial for pressed ATL. But Kirk, he was no better. From late arrivals to shady deals outside the show's contract, people saw how he was treating the production like they owed him a favor, like I'm the star, not the liability. And now that they've been booted, instead of taking accountability, they're out here blaming everybody else but themselves. Like, y'all, be so for real. You had the audience, you had the storyline, and you had the opportunity. But y'all wanted the clout without the contract. And that's not how this business works. So now all this drama's got fans talking. But is it also stirring up the rest of the cast? Some are relieved, and others will. They're kind of nervous too, because let's not act like Kirk and Rasheeda were not the only ones is towing the line. Because Spice, she's been in her feelings lately too. Word is she feels the show's been misrepresenting her ever.
The studio with a big book in her hand, and she told me she wrote the song in the car. You know what I like? I don't see nobody in here. You're writing your own.
But Carly Red, yeah, she's still kicking. But barely. She's been on the show since dial-up internet, and it's showing, and fans say she's tired and recycling drama at this point.
And so I apologize for that part. What I'm not gonna apologize for is how I feel. So I'm gonna tell you how.
So let me tell you why you telling me how you feel. You up when you.
But it don't even get me started on Miami, because Trina's been clocked out for like 2 seasons now, and Pinky Dollwell, yeah. We don't even need to explain that people are saying the whole franchise might be headed for a massive shakeup, and Kirk and Rasheeda getting that boot that might just be the first domino to fall. But let's pause and bring it to the streets, because when this drama popped off, fans weren't just choosing sides, they were spilling perspectives. And some of you are riding hard for Rasheeda, but one user put it like this: despite what Kirk has done, cheating, lies, deception, that Jasmine drama has been their only storyline for 8 years. Rasheeda forgave him, she moved on, so why does she have to keep reliving this mess every season? It's tired, it's trauma, and it's not fair. But honestly, this is kind of where the combo gets deep. because a lot of people agree Mona and her team have exploited Black pain for clouding coins for over a decade, and people feel like Rasheeda has been forced to dig up old wounds for the sake of drama when she finally said, "I'm done." She suddenly labeled difficult. Another comment popped off with this: "I believe they had already quit before being publicly announced as fired. Now they are saying Rashid is difficult to work with because she's tired of reliving that mess."
You've been married for going on 25 years and been in a relationship with somebody who you've lived your life with. You got things to think about before you throw everything away.
But let's be real, y'all, because y'all been calling Mona out. People are dragging her for acting like she's the only reason love and hip hop succeeded, like she forgot the real origin story. Let's not forget Jim Jones and Christie came up with the original concept Mona ran with it and turned it into a franchise. But to this day, Jim says they never got their credit, never got paid, never got royalties.
And he was like, sure, let's do it. Let's come up with the whole synopsis and the premise and everything. And that's what we did. We came up with the whole thing and the name, and she involved Emily, and that's how you got love in hip hop.
So when Mona sits up in her confessionals talking about, "I built this empire," some people said Mona stole the idea of love and hip hop from Jim Jones and Chrissy. She did not even pay them for capitalizing on their ideas. She built nothing, just perfected someone else's idea. And remember that time that Mona literally said she'd feed the cast? And that's enough. Fans dragged her for filth like feed them like, is this a zoo? Are they your pets? Is that all they can do with their checks? Eat. It's giving Muppets on strings and not cast. Members and people are fed up with the whole dynamic. And if Kirk and Rasheeda did try to break away and start something more real, some fans are actually rooting for them. So let's talk legacy, because some people are saying Kirk and Rasheeda think they are love and hip hop, like the show can't go on without them. But somebody said this, and they had me gaggling. Kirk and Rasheeda thinks they are lovin' hip hop. But some people fail to realize that sometimes you are an icon because you're old, not because of how much music you have. Not old, I'll add tired too. But that's a bar, cause Kirk and Rasheeda lasted. But were they evolving, or were they just stuck on rerun? At this point, fans feel like they're recycling trauma just to stay relevant. And now that they're gone, it might be time for everybody to look in the mirror, Mona included. So here's the thing with Kirk and Rasheeda gone, a huge vacuum has been created, whether people love them or hated them, or just watched to see if Rasheeda was finally going to leave Kirk. Spoiler, she never did. They were staples. But now that they've dipped, the show's got some holes to patch up, and Mona's response: allegedly, she's shifting gears fast, trying to bring in newer, younger, and messier cast members. Think TikTok clout chasers, viral relationship drama with social media receipts, and maybe even some influencer couples with a little side baby drama of their own. And according to some insiders, she's also watching everybody like a hawk. Now, if you're not obedient, or if you're not playing the reality game her way, you're about to get the boot. Like we're talking NDA upgrades, storyline control, loyalty clauses, the whole nine. But here's the issue: fans are getting smarter. They're not falling for the same rinse and repeat cheating arcs. They want fresh tea. So if Mona can't evolve and give us something new without exploiting trauma, this franchise might start giving expired instead of iconic. So now the real question is, what's next for these two? Rumor has it Kirk and Rasheeda are shopping their new show to streaming platforms and Black-owned networks. Think Bet plus Zeus. I mean, you already know, or even own. They want a series that focuses more on their businesses, Press and Frost Bistro, and the growth that they've claimed to have gotten off camera. Will it work? Maybe they've got some recognition, a loyal fan base, especially the ones who's tired of watching Rasheeda suffer, and a real marriage that's still kind of pushing through the mess. So if they spin this right, they could flip the script and finally control their own narrative for once. But now I got to hear from you, because this saga got everybody in their feelings. And I know y'all got some opinions, so sound off in the comments and let me know, do you think Mona was wrong for firing Kirk and Rasheeda, or was it long overdue? Or if Kirk and Rasheeda drop a new reality show, is you going to watch it? Let's be real now, is love and hip hop even still worth watching without its messy couple? Or is it getting washed up? Let me know your hot takes down below, because this conversation is not over. And you know I got some more tea spells. Go hit that like button.